wishing I could start all over again. I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming over and over again. I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming over and over again. I had trouble coming, you don't think I would quit. I had trouble coming, but I still don't quit. I had trouble coming, that I can hear in my head. I hear it over and over again. I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming over and over again. I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming, I had trouble coming over and over again. When I get home, you better not be there. We're placing bets. You won't shed your modesty, and the only thing to leave behind is your own skin on the floor. Don't you shy away. Manifest the ceiling when you shy away. Searching for that feeling just like an I love you. It isn't words, like a song he wrote that's never heard. Don't you When you get home, you barely recognize the pictures they put in a frame. 'Cause you shed your modesty. Don't circle the track. Take what you have and leave your skin on the floor. Don't you shy away. Manifest the ceiling when you shy away. Searching for that feeling just like an I love you. It isn't words, like a song he wrote that's never heard. When I get home, boy, you better not be there. You're long gone. Shed your modesty. Don't circle the track. Just break the cycle in half and leave your skin on the floor. Don't you shy away. Manifest the ceiling when you shy away. Searching for that feeling just like an I love you. It isn't words, like a song he wrote that's never heard. It's never heard.
Well, the scene is set for the second of our O'Neill Senior Football Championship semi-finals for the right to face Maherfelt in 2 weeks' time. Will it be the reigning champions Glen or will it be Slaughtneil? The questions, the answers will be decided in front of us over this next hour or so of football as Glen down to our left-hand side going through their warm-up before preparation or before the game, and Slaughtneil doing their preparations down to our right-hand side. We're going to start with the Glen side, the reigning champions, aiming for 3 in a row this year, but at the moment they're just aiming for a place in the final. So Glen, under the guidance of Malachy O'Rourke, have made one change from the side that you see on your list. Number 13, Alex Doherty, is being replaced by number 21, Danny McDermott. So that's the only change to the Glen side. So the Glen side is Conor Bradley in goals. Michael Warnock, Ryan Dugan and Conor Carville make up the full back line. Half back line of Ewan Mulholland, Kieran McFall and Cahill Mulholland. Midfield pairing then is Conor Glass and Emmett Bradley. Half forward line of Ethan Doherty, Jack Doherty and Conor Convery. And that one change, Danny McDermott replaces Alex Doherty in the corner, but I'm sure Danny won't be starting there. And the full forward then is Danny Talon and Conleth McGuckian. So that Glen team shows 13 of the side that started last year's county final and of course last year's All-Ireland club final. The two players coming in is Kieran McFall and number 21 Danny McDermott, and the players that They are replacing from last year's side Tiernan Flanagan and, of course, Alex Doherty. Slaughtneil, under the guidance of Mark Doran, have been beaten finalists this last 2 years by Glen up in Celtic Park since they last won the title back in 2020. They will line out with Anton McMullen between the posts, full back line of Conor McAllister, Chrissy McCaig and Carol McCaig. Half back line then of Rory O'Maynine, Paul McNeil and Keelan Feeney. Midfield pairing is Brendan Rodgers and Padraig Cassidy. Half forward line of Christopher Bradley, Jerome McGuigan and Peter McCullough. Micheál McGrath, Shane McGuigan and Cormac O'Doherty, who picked up an All-Star award for the Irish News Hurling All-Star Award on the other night. And also Shane McGuigan, he was named your Player of the Year this year at the Irish News All-Stars, and Brendan Rodgers also picked up an All-Star. So that's the two sides that the managements have sent out here to see who will face Magherafelt in the decider. And just before I get a word with my co-commentator Paul McFlynn, congratulations to the Slaughtneil Camogues, because they have made it 9 county titles in a row this afternoon. They defeated Swatra in the final, 115 to 7 points over in Balahi. And also congratulations to Drumsurn, because they were crowned junior camogie champions as well, with victory over Magherafelt. So it's been a good day so far for the Slaughtneil club, as the girls, as I said, 9 in a row camogie champions. Paul McFlynn, Glen against Slaughtneil, it's always a special game.
Yeah, Alan, it's one of those games that, I mean, not only are the people of Derry looking forward to, I'm sure the whole of Ulster have eyes on this evening, and perhaps Ireland. So look, it's one that when the draw was made, it's whetting the appetite. You're getting to the business end of the season. Both teams know who they'll be potentially meeting in the final, and that it's going to be Magherafelt. So look, we understand the fierce rivalry that exists between both these clubs over the years. Slaughtneil having the dominance, winning 4 in a row, coming back then winning a 5th one, and they're still knocking on the door. And Glen have been the team that are now going for 3 in a row. So look, it's set up for a mouthwatering clash.
It is. This last 2 years, Paul, Glen have comfortably won the 2 finals. Slaughtneil kind of played into their hands in the last 2 finals, but Slaughtneil are Slaughtneil, and they have players on the park. They have the quality there. What difference do you see this year from Slaughtneil to curtail Glen?
It's difficult to know, Alan. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, people, the Slaughtneil, having spoken to a few Slaughtneil people that have been slightly disappointed with their performance against Balahi, you know. So I think what you're going to get here today is a Slaughtneil at their best. I think last year they perhaps, I mean, people thought they got it wrong in that, for example, Shane McGuigan, who one of the top forwards in Ireland, as we know, is a huge threat for them. But I think in last year's county final he found himself very deep and sometimes foraging, looking ball around midfield and defence. And from a Glen perspective, that's where you want to see him. So I would expect Shane to be closer to goal tonight. And I think if they can get enough ball to Shane in the wide open spaces, he's going to be hot to handle. And look no further at the pitch than Brendan Rodgers, Chrissy McCaig, Carol McCaig. Like, they're littered with players of huge quality, but they will see this as a chance of redemption. And I mean, they will not want to see Glen turning them over 3 years in a row. So I expect everything that Slaughtneil have, they'll be thrown at it this evening.
There's new management this year, of course. Mark Doran's in there, down man. He was involved with Ballybay that won the Monaghan Championship last year. He's in this year. It's his first year, so I suppose expectations will not be as high because it's his first year. It takes a wee while to settle into it, but it'll be a new idea, a new view.
Yes, and look, I have seen them a few times. I saw them against the Loop in the league that day, and I mean, they are playing a similar style, but what I noticed about them that day in Kimpin, they do seem very well organised, particularly organised at the back. They are methodical. He has brought that to them, and you know, he's put his own imprint on them, and I can see that already. But look, you're saying, you know, it does take a little bit of time, but at the same time, you're going into Slaughtneil, a team that have won championships, and you know, they'll not be seeing it as giving them time. You know, some people from the outside might, but they'll be looking for success right away, and they will be looking to try and get to another county final.
Now, the reigning champions, Glen, people have them as favourites. The bookies have them as strong favourites to win this game and to retain their title, beating All-Ireland finalists last year. So obviously when you get to an All-Ireland final, you're Ulster champions, county champions, you're going to have that mark on your back. You're the team to watch, and they've probably continued on from where they left off last year.
Look, they have, and I can recall at this stage last year, people were, you know, they weren't firing on all cylinders. They actually went into a semi-final, was it against Newbridge, and didn't set the world on light either. So look, knowing Malachi O'Rourke and knowing Ryan Porter in terms of his physical preparation, you know, Ryan and Malachi do have a deliberate knack of planning and getting teams to pick at the right time, and they've always done that wherever they've been. And I expect to see an also much improved performance from Glen from the last day. So, you know, it's set up for a clinker.
It is indeed. Well, our match official is the same one that was in Celtic Park last year. Gavin Hegarty is in charge again this year, like he was for the final last year. So Glen beat Slaughtneil in his last 2 years in the county final. Now it's semi-final stage again here. Slaughtneil had beaten Glen the previous year, of course. They were crowned champions with victory over Magherafelt in 2020. And Glen have won it in 21 and 22, so they're aiming for 3 in a row this year. But at the moment, it's all about getting to the final, and a big crowd here in Owenbeg, and that's no surprise, Paul, because this game is almost an attraction to the Derry people, but not just the Derry people. I'm sure there's people in that support that is from outside the county as well, because when Glen Slaughtneil, it does draw that attraction, and that's why we have such a crowd here in Owenbeg.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just looking at the crowd and the way in there, it's chock-a-block right through to Given. They're parked as far down as the filling station there. They're double parked, and I recognised a few faces from Tyrone, for example. Saw a few Tyrone tops, saw a couple of Armagh tops. So, you know, you've got that interest. You're looking at All-Ireland finalists, Curran Ulster Club champions against a team that won the Ulster Club 3 times. So, you know, you go long and far across Ireland this weekend to get any better fixture.
No doubt about that. 2 big clubs coming face to face here in Owenbeg, Centre of Excellence. Conditions absolutely perfect for this one. Hardly a breeze in the air as we get ready for our national anthem.
Please be outstanding. We are a moment's silence.
A minute silence first.
For the reporting soul of Christopher Bradley from the Desert Martin Club, who died in a road accident yesterday.
So remember Christopher Bradley from Desert Martin that passed away in the road accident, of course, in County Louth. We pause for a moment's silence.
Jane Uro Anam. Agus Amish, our round of viewing sung for us this evening by Emma Elwood of the Waddy Graham's Club in Glen.
Is set for the second of O'Neill Senior Football Championship semi-finals. The reigning champions Glen against Slaughtneil for the right to face Magherafelt in 2 weeks' time as the both teams go into their little huddles for the last words of encouragement from their captains and their managers. Well, manager Malachi O'Rourke from Glen is down on the sideline, and now it's all about the players, Paul. Nerves, I'm sure, in both camps. Even though the experience in both camps, there'll still be nerves there.
Oh yeah, look, listen, it's a county semi-final. Any championship game in particular, that, you know, the nerve thermometer goes up, and you certainly become more nervous and anxious because there's more at stake. And look, Glen, or you know, when you're getting in as favourites, particularly off 2 in a row, everybody wants to take you down. You're there to be taken down, and you know, people are questioning, do Glen have the hunger? Do they still have the desire to come back and do it? And it's very, very difficult to do 3 in a row in any county, particularly in Derry. So that's a big challenge for them. But I've no doubt that in Malachi O'Rourke and Ryan Porter and his management team there, of Mickey McCullough and Johnny Bradley, etc., they'll have them well primed for today.
Well, the scene is almost set. We're about to get underway. We have 2 Irish News All-Stars in the middle of the park, and that's Brendan Rogers of Slaughtneil and Conor Glass of Glen. And we've got Ethan Doherty also picked up an Irish News All-Star and Shane McGuigan, and also Cormac O'Doherty. So plenty of stars out on that park this afternoon or this evening, and the game is underway. And it's Conor Glass that gets a long fist forward. Conor McGuigan is in for that loose ball. The referee says to play on, and the ball is kicked forward. Conor Glass is racing after this one, and it's just in soccer style. He was cleaned out of it. The referee says it's a free out. And that's a strange decision, I think, from Gavin Hegarty, because it looked like the two of them were going for the ball.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Conor made the ball.
Yeah.
He made the ball. He made contact with the ball. And, you know, if anything, I thought that he would have got the free there. But we're not the referee.
No. And out comes Anton McMullen. No, it's a change in the goalkeeper. Conor Scullion is into the side. I was thinking that wasn't Anton when he was coming out. So Conor Scullion is in goals. So a change to Slaughtneil. When we asked them before the game, they said there was no changes, so maybe just a little bit gamesmanship. But unless Anton picked up an injury, but it's a change. So we've had a change to both sides before the throw-in, and Conor Scullion is coming forward. Now it's with Shane McGuigan, trying to get the first effort away, lays it off to O'Maynine. O'Maynine's effort, but he forced it and it's out and wide of the target. First wide goes to Slaughtneil. So a change in goalkeeper. Not sure if it's an injury or tactical, Paul.
Not so sure, Alan. I haven't heard anything about Anton. He could have picked up an injury. I'd be surprised if, you know, that he wouldn't be included based on the experience and the quality of the keeper he is. So I suspect that's possibly an injury.
So a blow possibly for the Slaughtneil team, but Scullion, I'm sure, will be relishing the challenge. And here's Danny McDermott coming forward, one of the up-and-coming stars of Glen football. And now it's with Michael Warnock, plays it into the centre to Doogie. Ryan Dugan in possession just outside the 65 as he steps inside it. Coming to meet him is Kieran McFall. Ryan Dugan was caught late. Referee plays the advantage. Kieran McFall uses the advantage as Conor Carville makes the run. But Kieran McFall waits for Conor Glass to come from behind to gather possession. Flicks it back now to Michael Warnock, and Slaughtneil with all the players back. And Michael Warnock looks ahead of himself, but there are no options available at the moment. But Conor Glass is in a little bit of space here. Coming over to track him is Brendan Rodgers, going outside Conor Carville. Carville has to turn back again though, as Conor Glass just makes the run in towards the square, and Brendan Rodgers is going to follow him, and I'm sure Conor Glass is going to follow Brendan Rodgers whenever he is in possession. So Kieran McFall at the moment to Michael Warnock, just on the 65-metre line, comes forward, and he waits there for Ethan Doherty to take possession of him. It's just passing it through the hands at the moment from Glen as Conor Bradley, the goalkeeper, comes forward here onto this one to play as that extra player, and he's looking around him, but he has to give it back again. And at the moment, Slaughtneil pretty well organised in there, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, very organised and look quite content for Glen to play the ball around this area between the 45 and 65. But you can see Glen, very familiar style to Derry that have been talked about. They're flooding the full forward line in here. I don't know if the viewers can see it, but you have 6 Glen men inside the 20. You know, and they're looking for this break through the middle to get a pop pass in, but so far Slaughtneil haven't given them that opportunity.
No, and there is the space around the D at the moment. That's an open space, but Kieran McFall is going across the other side, and he's taking on Brendan Rodgers there, and he has to give it back now to Michael Warnock, and now picking up Conor Glass there. I was just looking, it was Bradley, but here's Jack Doherty, little toe poke in here, and a chance here now for Ewan Mulholland, just slipped, and Cathal Mulholland, his brother's there to help him out now to Danny Tollan, but Danny's quickly closed off, and that opportunity goes to begging. Danny McDermott now comes back out, and he gives it away over here to Conlon Bradley. So a little moment there, but Slaughtneil quickly closed it off. Emmett Bradley takes the ball off his brother, and Emmett going around, Paddy Cassidy following him, but Emmett going on one of those long runs, and coming in as Kieran McFall flicks it out under pressure there, but he gets it back to Michael Warnock. So Glen holding possession at the moment, almost 5 minutes gone, but at the moment no scores. And Conor Carville, the shouts from the Slaughtneil management and supporters for over carrying, but it's all about patience. 4.5 minutes, Paul, they've almost held possession for the 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely patient, obviously, by Glen. They're not taking a second chance, but at the same time very disciplined by Slaughtneil as well.
It is at the moment, and Glen just not forcing anything at the moment, just being patient trying to suck out Slaughtneil. And they're just going back into their own half now with Michael Warnock. And Conor Glass makes himself available, which he gathers possession, but Slaughtneil at the moment aren't getting sucked into that. And Shane McGuigan, I see off the ball as Conor Glass tries to come forward, but the challenge comes in there from Cormac O'Doherty. Now with Kieran McFall, Convery comes to meet him. And Bradley sends it away over, and Shane McGuigan's the furthest forward, and there's no player back at the moment, so if Slaughtneil did turn this ball over, but Spike has it in the moment. Coming round the outside, Danny McDermott over in the far corner. Danny way back into the centre now to Kieran McFall. No attempt now. Conor Carville, a little bit of space here, but that'll soon be closed off again. Fists it forward here now to Ewan Mulholland. Mulholland can't turn though. He's tracked over there, gives it back out to the corner to Carville, but they can't get the shot away at the moment, and they're going to have to rebuild yet again. Danny McDermott comes away out, and it's cagey, Paul.
Yeah, and I mean, you can hear the murmurs in the crowd there, you know, but at the same time, you know, Slaughtneil have been very disciplined here. They're tracking every runner. The couple of balls now, 2 balls have been popped into Ewan Mulholland. He's won the both of them, but they haven't been able to get that ball to the runner to get a shot off. So they're coming back out, they're recycling, and, you know, they want to keep possession. They don't want to give it away. And so it's very much cat and mouse.
It is at the moment. Danny Talon has come deep here to gather possession now. Conor Carville again, but the options few and far between at the moment in the inside. And just off the ball again. Conor Glass has gone in around the square, but at the moment it's all about holding possession and creating and waiting the opportunity, or more like waiting a mistake from Slaughtneil in defence. But as Paul mentioned, very disciplined at the moment, tracking every runner. Kieran McFall makes the dart forward, but gives it back now to Conlon Bradley, coming up on 7 minutes gone. Still no shots on goal at the moment. Has spread it across now to Spike. Michael Warnock comes forward, and Glen will be looking for a score after all this here, and here it might come from Ethan Doherty. It has finished with a score. It doesn't matter if you hold it for 6-7 minutes, if you get a score at the end of the day, it's worth it, Paul.
And that is a big statement from Glen. I mean, if Slaughtneil had turned it over, they'd have taken good oxygen from that, but to be so patient and to get it to the runner, and I mean, no better man than Ethan Doherty, and an accurate kick from Ethan. So that'll have settled Glen. It's taken almost 7.5 minutes for that score, but extreme patience. I mean, a team, I mean, obviously in coaching terms that are told you do not give that ball away under any circumstances, and you play it, and they got it to the right man in the right position, and it was in the scoring zone as well. It wasn't a Hail Mary.
Yeah,
you know?
It was. They waited their patience. So here's the first test for Conor Scullion with the kick out, because there will be pressure on this kick out. Glen have pushed up on it at the moment, so it'll be a tester here for the young keeper. His first kick out of the evening, as he comes forward with the kick out. It looks like he's gone straight down the centre, and under it is Conor Glass, who makes the mark, but Conor looked ahead. There was nobody available for that one, so that was the first tester for Scullion, and Glen turned it over, going straight down the middle. So going up the far side now is McFall again, and over the top now to Conlon McGuckin. McGuckin cuts inside, needs to get support, gets it now from Conor Glass. A little bit of space for Glass, should have had the shot away possibly, didn't do so, and he's give possession away, and Conor just hesitated, and it's not like him, but the referee not giving the free there. It looked like it was a free. Referee, let's play continue, and there's still a scramble for possession. Now he gives a free out. I think it was a free the first time, Paul.
I think it was. He let that go on a little bit too long there. I mean, Slaughtneil were very disciplined. They did turn Conor over there. I don't think there was too much in that. It was legitimate tackling. So they're being very sharp in the tackle, Slaughtneil, and you can see that they're really up for this.
Paddy Cassidy coming soloing out. A little bit of space now here for the corner forward up there. Micheál McGrath. And here come Slaughtneil, as Brendan Rodgers made that run, but it was halted. Has to go back to Scullion again, and Bradley comes to gather possession as they come in from the far side. Cormac O'Doherty spreads it across to Scullion again, and Scullion has got Peter McCullough beside him if he requires him, but Scullion, McCullough comes around the outside, going to be facing into Danny McDermott there. Scullion has got a little bit of space, and Scullion to Rory O'Meanine, back to O'Doherty again. As we talked about Glen being patient, and here's Scullion coming around the back. A chance here maybe for the keeper. Looks to lay it off, does so to Rory O'Maynine. O'Maynine with the effort, dropping out and wide of the target. Possibly the keeper, maybe that's why he's on.
Yeah,
because he's getting involved a lot, Paul.
He certainly is coming up the pitch a lot more than Anton would, so perhaps it's a tactical decision. We're not sure. There's certainly bits and pieces going on off the ball here. Boys are getting to know each other. They know each other very, very well, being close neighbours and etc. and relatives and what have you. But certainly in the pitch here, they're getting to know each other early. And I see one thing that seems to be a switch is that Chrissy McCaig is picking up Ethan Doherty.
So Conor Bradley's first kick out of the evening. Can he get it right? Goes to Ethan Doherty, and Ethan gathers possession. The only point scorer so far. Gives it back to Michael Warnock, who gathers possession now. Kieran McFall making his way up along the stand side, but he gives it back over to this end here now to Danny McDermott. Danny comes forward here for the Watty Grahams to Jack Doherty. Jack tries to sidestep the challenge, and he gets a little bit of space. Kieran McFall comes off the shoulder with the outside of the boot from McFall. This is a dangerous one for the keeper. He's in there, but it's dealt with it well, because Emmett Bradley was in there, but the young keeper did well, and the ball is picked up by Shane McGuigan, but Scullion, he done well.
Did very well. That was a tester for him. You know, probably the management saying test him out early. He coped really, really well, and he has certainly made a great start here.
So here comes Slaughtneil, just a point in the game so far, 11 and a half minutes gone. It was expected that this one would be a cagey affair and tight, and thus the way the opening 11 minutes has gone so far, as the ball is played into the centre to Chrissy McCaig, who has returned from injury, was played last week against Balahi after missing a number of games, as well as the hurling final, of course, against Kevin Lynch's. But he's back again, is Chrissy. And now Scullion again getting involved, settled into the contest very quickly indeed. That's Brendan Rodgers' first opportunity to run, and Emmett Bradley following him now as he turns back out, as they try to work their way in, back again out the back door to Rodgers. Rodgers is having a go just inside the 45. Has it got the legs? No, it hasn't. Conor Bradley gathers possession. Under pressure there is Bradley, but he's almost turned over. The man in there is Conor McAllister, but he manages to work it out, and that was a tester as well, but the referee is going back for a free.
45.
Or 45. It had dropped out over the line, so it's a 45 for the Slaughtneil men, and a chance to possibly level it up here. Shane McGuigan is the man that will place it on the 45. That was a tester for Conor as well.
It was, and I thought he had it at first grapple. I thought actually it was heading over the bar, but he managed to recover well, but he obviously, the bit of pressure, he went out over the end line, so a 45, and an opportunity for Shane here to get us back in level terms.
Yep, with 13 minutes gone. Shane McGuigan, your Irish News Player of the Year for this year, with the opportunity to level it up here in Owenbeg. As Shane comes forward, didn't get a good connection though, and it's well read. Danny McDermott did well there. Glen now will look to try and break quickly, but Cathal Mulholland's halted there, and the ball is moved across now. Didn't connect well, but fair play to Danny McDermott, he read it. As Glen try to build from the back again, it remains 1 point to no score. Scores are going to be few and far between, Paul.
Yeah, look, I think the one thing that, I mean, you look back to the county final 2 years ago and last year, Glen started like a whirlwind in both finals, built up a lead, and were able to keep Slaughtneil at arm's length.
Kieran McFall having a go here, but doesn't drop in short, and this could be off the crossbar. It was Danny McDermott seemed to get a touch in there, come back between the post and the crossbar, and let off for Slaughtneil. That could well have ended up on the net. They're testing a few high balls in there, but although I think Kieran McFall was going for the point, Paul.
I don't know what he was. I think perhaps he had more time as well. I think he could have caught that ball, but I mean, it was an opportunity. So we've had a few high balls in around both squares there and looking dangerous. But can get to the point I was saying, it's clear that Slaughtneil have set out not to allow Glen to get into their comfort zone.
Great ball forward
they've done
here.
that really well.
Yeah, it's a super ball forward, and there's an important hand in from Conor Glass there, but Slaughtneil still hold possession. And coming around is Shane McGuigan, but his effort is out and wide of the target. A second wide for Slaughtneil. Almost 15 minutes on the clock. Slaughtneil yet to score, but Glen have only got 1 point. As Conor and Bradley get ready to kick this one out again. Ethan Doherty made the run, but the support of Slaughtneil shouting how long, which is something we see all the time now. And as the kick has been turned over here by Slaughtneil, Rory O'Mahony picks up the loose ball, and here comes Shane McGuigan now in a little bit of space. McGuigan comes forward, and with him is Jerome McGuigan, but he lays it off into the corner here to Peter McCullough. McCullough put under pressure from Danny McDermott. McCullough, Danny sticking to him. Little tug on the arm, but the referee says to play on as Paddy Cassidy makes himself available. And Paddy lays it away back to Scullion again. And Scullion spreads it across now to Carl McCaig. And Carl comes forward and he spots the man in space on the far side of the park. And that is the centre half back, of course, Paul McNeil. Lays it back to Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers flicks it out the back door again to Bradley, now to Paddy. Bradley goes on the outside if he needs him, but Paddy Cassidy holds possession. Coming around the outside as well was Brendan Rodgers, but it left a little bit of space there for Paddy Cassidy, who's ran into trouble, but he manages to get it out the back door to Cormac O'Doherty. And they hold on to possession. They were almost turned over there, but Chrissy McCaig now in possession. Chrissy coming forward here, but at the moment not making much headway. But Peter McCullough right back to Scullion again. And Scullion, toe to hand, comfortable in possession, not afraid to come forward and get involved. Paddy Cassidy again, as he ran into trouble the last time, lays it off now to the sharpshooter, which is Shane McGuigan. He's quickly crowded out, back to McCullough again, now to Jerome McGuigan. But Glen is turned to be defensive, and at the moment they're disciplined, Paul.
Yeah, both sides are mirror image really of each other here, trying to probe and prompt. But you know, you can see every time Shane McGuigan's getting the ball there, it's Ethan Doherty's actually picking him up because he's got the pace. He probably knows him that well, having played with him, and Shane just found it so hard to get away from him there.
Now Glen trying to move it quickly into the corner. Ewan Mulholland, which he caught by Brendan Rodgers. It's out for a sideline ball to Glen. Ewan saying, is it a free or is it a sideline? The referee says it's a free. So Ewan comes inside. Maybe, I'm surprised they're not having a go from there, possibly. Danny Talon territory.
Looking like it now.
They are now. So I'm thinking that's Danny area.
It's a big kick.
No, it's
40 yards roughly.
a huge kick, I know, but it's a dangerous one. And an opportunity.
It's even further out now.
Danny,
You could see a short coming here.
after all that,
Yeah, I suspect a short.
Danny,
It's not like them to go
no,
from
he
that
doesn't
distance.
look like a man that wants to have a go from there.
No.
He is looking to take it short.
No.
Could be soon through up if he's not going to have a go. It's going to drop in, and it's dropped wide. Forced it in the end.
It's the wrong option, Al. I mean, just the way he took it out, that the linesman taking it out that 5 or 6 yards meant it just was unkickable, knowing from the distance. So, I mean, they would have been put him under pressure, obviously, get it kicked. So, you can see the
18
management
and a
aren't
half
happy with
minutes
that.
ball. 1 point.
I mean, it's it may not be pretty for the viewers here, but it's certainly fascinating from a tactical, defensive point of view.
It is. It's intriguing. As the loose ball scramble for possession over on the far side. Bodies go to ground. Pushing the backs is the referee. Over on the far side. And Chrissy in possession for Slaughtneil. And the Terrace supporters watch on the far side as the ball is played into Brendan Rodgers. Lays it off to Paddy Cassidy. Slaughtneil still awaiting that first score. Almost 19 minutes gone. Looked to be a lot of steps there from Paddy Cassidy as Conor Glass tries to turn this one over, but the loose ball is picked up there by Bradley, and the referee gives a free in. Mark O'Rourke is not happy down below us. Looked like he was charging.
To be honest, I don't think Sammy attempted to play the ball there. He saw the men to go through them, and to me, he was overcarried. But look, it's a free in, and Slaughtneil will welcome the opportunity here to try and get their first score.
Malachy, as you can see, not happy with that decision, but it's a chance here for Sammy to have a go. possibly the free was given for another incident, looking from where Sammy finished up to where the free has been taken. So maybe it was for a challenge on Paddy Cassidy, and that he felt that he was being pulled back by Conor Glass, because it didn't look like Sammy was fouled. But Sammy has the chance here now to level it up in the 21st minute of the game as Slaughtneil await their opening score. And this one is dropping in and dropping wide of the target. The third wide for Slaughtneil. It remains 1 point to no score in favour of Glen with 20 and a half minutes on the clock. Paul McFlynn, was that not Shane McGuigan territory for that free?
I would
know
have
both of
thought
them are pretty
no,
good.
it was a slightly the wrong side for a left-footed kicker, but it wasn't that far the other side, so it would have been an opportunity for him. But look, we know Sammy's very accurate, but out of the hands from 45 yards, it's difficult. And look, that's 4 wides now. I think Slaughtneil have hit. You know, it's going to be sucking the energy out of them.
It looked like he was forcing it a little bit, that it was just outside his comfort zone. So Ryan Dugan in possession, goes across the field. This intriguing encounter where scores are few and far between, but both teams out with their plan, and at the moment it has worked for both of them at present. But Slaughtneil have yet to register, but they're only conceded 1 point from Ethan Doherty in the 8th minute of the game, as Michael Warnock in possession now for Glen. Lays it back to Conor and Bradley, as Conor McGuckin just makes a little bit of run along the stand side, but Glen are not interested in giving it to him. They're going across the field yet again to Michael Warnock. Coming in from the sideline, as you see, is Ethan Doherty. Lays it off there to Conor Glass. Glass out the back door again to Michael Warnock. Cutting infield now is Warnock, and now there's a little bit of space here for Conor Carville to run onto. Conor Carville looks ahead of himself, but there's nobody available. Mulholland makes himself available. Now back again, and they have to go again. And it's over now to Conlon Bradley yet again to come forward. As the light fades on this October evening, the floodlights on here in Owenbeg, as the crowd look on. And as Paul mentioned, murmurs because they're expecting scores, but sometimes you have to be patient, and there was a chance there for the mark for Ewan Mulholland, but he dropped the ball. Coming around the back now, Ethan Doherty has switched over to this side, seems to be tracked there by Chrissy McCaig. Chrissy seems to be following Ethan now, Paul.
Yeah, I noticed that early on. He seems to be picking him up, and yet when Slaughtneil get the ball, Ethan's dropping off Chrissy and picking up Shane McGuigan. So all things that have been talked about and analysed to kingdom come, Alan, and you can see both teams know exactly what they're doing in terms of the personnel they're picking up, and I think that's why we have such a cagey affair and clearly low scoring.
Yes, 23 minutes, 1 point at the moment, as Glen tried to work their way through. Kieran McFall didn't take possession there, and Kieran McCaig cut it out, but it's out now to Jack Doherty, who lets fly. But Jack's effort, yes, it has gone over the bar. There's a snapshot from Jack Doherty, but it doubles the account for Glen. The brothers combined, they've hit a point apiece.
And a fortune of luck there, because Kieran McFall dropped the ball, got a toadlet. Conor Carville picked it up, and really quick hands by Conor Carville to get rid of the ball on the ground, and a really quick shot to get away because he was coming under pressure. So a great score by Jack.
Ball out round the centre again, well gathered by Shane McGuigan. Now there's a chance here for Slaughtneil to drive forward. McGuigan works it on. Ethan Doherty was there. Shane McGuigan goes to ground. Chrissy McCaig trying to get it on to the right. Chrissy with the effort. Is that the first score for Slaughtneil? It comes from Chrissy McCaig. And Chrissy opens Slaughtneil's account. And Shane McGuigan, fantastic catch in the centre of the field.
A great response here. Look, and the viewers are saying there's lots going on off the ball here. Brenton Rodgers and Emmett Bradley are getting stuck into each other. Chrissy's involved. So look, that was a great response to go 2-0 down in such a game. 2-1, great catch by Shane and a great score by Chrissy.
Here comes Glen again, trying to respond again. Gavin Haggerty, the need eyes in the back of his head. He'll be looking for help from the linesman and his umpires, because there'll be a lot of stuff off the ball, you would feel, as Paul mentioned. There's the ball's away over to the far side now to Conor Carville. Glen try to work their way in from the far side through Danny McDermott. Out now to Conor McGuckin. McGuckin runs into trouble. It could be overturned here, but the referee says a tug on his jersey and a tug on the arm, and this is a chance for Danny Talon to reopen a 2 points advantage, and you may begin to see it, Paul, as the game goes on, to open up a little bit more.
Well, it's you have two facets to that. It's the fitness level to maintain that, and it's also the fact that the longer the game goes on and you're nearing that end, there's more of a chance of team taking risks and things opening up a little bit. You have to go for it, and you'll very rarely see that in the first half.
Yeah.
So a little bit of indiscipline there. I mean, they had him bottled up. He was going nowhere, but on a slight tug of the arm.
So Danny makes no mistake, and Glen lead 3 points to 2 with that free coming in the 26th minute for the foul there on Conor McGuckin. So Scullion, he's gone straight through the centre on each occasion so far, coming to the stand side this time, looking there, and the ball's broken down. There's a scramble for possession, looked to be dived on the ground. Referee says no, and the referee has given the free. And Shane McGuigan goes forward here. The referee's he's just delaying things, Paul, and I think it's not helping.
Look, I couldn't really see that one, to be honest. I probably should have looked at the screen in front of me, you know, what happened there. But, I mean, Danny McDermott dived, from what I could see, really, really strong into a tackle there. A 60-40 ball against him, very brave from a young fella. That's what turned the ball over. And, I mean, he was on the ground. I don't know if it was Shane or whatever, but 4 or 5 men around him. Very, very difficult, you know.
The yellow card for Kieran McFall for the challenge, the late challenge there. He caught.
There was little in that, Alan. I saw that. There was very little in it.
There's the linesman.
Very little in it.
And Glen not happy with the linesman. And Slaughtneil, the linesman.
There was very little in that. There was very little in it, but I could see. Now, I could be wrong. It's not like Shane McGuigan to be down, so, you know, whether it was the tackle or where it was the impact after the tackle.
The linesman said it was a high challenge around the neck.
Shane's an honest player, and, you know, I couldn't see the extent of it.
But it's a yellow card for Kieran McFall as the ball now is through up. But Glen look to try and pick up the loose ball. There's a scramble for possession. There's a lot of bodies in there, but the man that comes out of it is Michael Warnock, Spike, but he tries to scramble for possession. The referee is given a free in, and the Glen supporters and management and substitutes are not happy, Paul.
And things are heating up down on the sideline here between the opposing management teams. It's spilling over. Look, a game of such intensity and magnitude, it's going to be very, very difficult to officiate. But to me, there was a couple of frees before that one was blowing.
I think that's the problem. He's delaying. He's not blowing the frees.
And it's not helping either side.
No. But Shane McGuigan from the 45 to reduce it to a single point. Comes forward, gets a good connection. Good strike from Shane McGuigan. Straight between the posts. And you wonder why, possibly we talked earlier, why Sammy was taking it when Shane McGuigan can put them over from there.
There's a lot going on off the ball here too. Really a lot going on off the ball.
So the referee having a little chat here to somebody, calling over a couple of players in the centre of the field. Off the ball.
Look, mate, listen. If you've been beaten by a team 2 years in a row, your closest rivals, I think for anyone not to expect Slaughtneil to be really up for this, they've felt that over the last couple of years Glen got the better of them in every facet of the game, so they were up here tonight to stand up and be counted. And look, it's fire with fire at this stage.
It is indeed a point between the sides. Half time approaching, ball out the far side, strong fist there from Slaughtneil who gather possession. Here they come again, and the corner forward has an opportunity here, which is Micheál McGrath. Over now to Brendan Rodgers, cuts inside Rodgers to level it up, flick through here, and the ball takes a deflection, but Michael Warnock is quickly out to gather possession there to clear up the danger. Now out to Jack Doherty, 3 points to 2 in favour of Glen. We're inside the last minute of normal time. We're going to have the board up very shortly to see what additional time we're going to have. I expect 2 or 3 minutes possibly.
So one.
One additional minute, 3 points to 2 in favour of the reigning champions Glen, but this one is an intriguing encounter that is heating up. And there's a game already, you'll say we may not end with 15 aside, Paul.
Well, we've won yellow already. Was it one yellow?
I think
we have
Paddy
there?
Cassidy
Yeah,
might have picked
yeah,
up a
yeah,
yellow
yeah.
there. As Kieran McFall comes driving forward here, was fouled twice. Referee plays the advantage. He has the hand up, but now the advantage is over as Conor Carville gets the ball into the corner. Cormac O'Doherty's following him over there. Has to come right the back door, and it wasn't the best of balls to Ethan Doherty, and that ball's off Slaughtneil man. And again, another off the ball incident. The linesman's flagging, and I think it could be another. No, I thought he was flagging there for a little bit of afters, but he's letting it go. Michael Warnock as the butt comes in. We're into the minute of additional time. There's so much going on, Paul. It's difficult to keep a handle of all the stuff that's going on out there.
They need about 10 A's here, all really, you know. But look, it's championship semi-final. You talked at the start about how much is at stake. I think you can see that in both teams. Slaughtneil are really fired up for this.
Michael Warnock from distance. This one goes in, but it's gone to the wrong side and wide. That's Glen's second white of the game. And again, something has happened off the ball out here.
He just pushed him.
And
I could see it was a push.
Chrissy McCaig makes a dart across the field. He's not happy, pointing at Michael Warnock. So the linesman, I don't think anybody is getting involved here. The referee calls a halt. Possibly the best thing to do. It's half time. This one is an interesting one, Paul. 3 points to 2 in favour of Glen at half time, but there's so much going on.
Look, listen, Slaughtneil have come out with a plan to, you know, they're not going to be pushed about and they'll feel over the last couple of years they received maybe unfair criticism from some of their supporters that, you know, they let Glen bully them and the physical exchanges, etc. And they certainly come up here today. They're not going to be bullied. They're standing up to Glen. There's a lot going on. You have cousins here. You have Ewan Mulholland, and that's Connaught McGuckin and Shane McGuigan. They're cousins. They're full cousins. So they're getting stuck into each other. And look, in their eyes, this is what Slaughtneil want. They want Glen unsettled. But look, this is a big test of Glen's character now. And look, that will certainly get the crowd going. We're not getting the crowd going in terms of the scoreline. We're getting the crowd going in other aspects.
Here's Glen coming off now. And the supporters trying to lift them. They lead by a single point, 3 points to 2. Apart from everything else that's going on, Paul, off the field and or off the ball, a lot of the talking points has been off the ball stuff. But as for the game,
yeah, look,
is it what you expected?
It's not what I expected in terms of the scoreline. But I think simply because both teams, we know the forwards are in both teams, and we expect them to be, you know, raking up the scores. But when you think about it last year, and when you think how Slaughtneil have come into this game, I mean, both years, the first county final and last year, Glen were 5-6 points up and could keep Slaughtneil at arm's length. It was clear that Slaughtneil weren't going to let that happen, and they haven't let that happen. We're now sitting at a 3-2. Slaughtneil will be delighted, absolutely delighted. And it's going to give them serious belief now.
She said the last 2 years the games were over at this stage.
Games were over at half time in both years, so that's something that they've learnt from. But you can see that, I mean, they certainly are bringing it to Glen and the physical stakes off the ball. I haven't seen Glen perhaps get as much attention as this on probably the Ulster final against Kilcoo was something similar. But look, the one thing that Malachy O'Rourke will want is to get them into the change rooms and get them calm. You can't play when you're like that. You see, when your head's like that, you can't make good decisions under pressure. So he'll not be roaring and shouting in there. He'll be trying to get those boys back down, as will the Slaughtneil management. Because at the end of the day, you know, you need to talk about, you know, was it fire in the belly and ice in the brain? You know, you need a cool head, and the team that are the coolest in this second half and are going to make the fewest mistakes are going to come out on top. And you alluded to it earlier. Look, sending us off here could be crucial. Black card, yellow card or red card could have a big burn in this game as well.
It's a possibility, the way the first half has went. But it's half time. Scores few and far between. But Glen lead 3 points to 2. We're going to draw a breath. Don't go anywhere. An intriguing second half is coming up live here from Owen Begg.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You said that you've never been, but all the things that
Welcome back. We await both teams to re-emerge from the dressing room, and we have been corrected. We were calling the goalkeeper for Slaughtneil as in Cahir Scullion, but of course it is Jack Cassidy that is in between the posts. And Jack, a renowned outfield player, so it's no surprise when you see how good he is at coming forward. So possibly a tactical one from Slaughtneil with Jack Cassidy between the posts for the Robbies in that opening half. So apologies that we were incorrect. Information given to us in the opening half, but it has been corrected. And Jack Scullion is the man, or Jack Cassidy is the man that is between the posts for Slaughtneil. So 3 points to 2, as you will see on your scoreboard, in favour of the reigning champions. Intriguing affair. And that man in your picture, Gavin Hegarty, has been the centre of attention, and a linesman as well that spotted the off the ball incident that saw Ciarán McFall pick up a yellow card as well. And it could be an interesting second half for the officials, as they would need eyes in the back of the head. There's so much going on and off the ball, as we wait Paul McFlynn to come back and join me for the second half. But also waiting both teams to re-emerge from the dressing room. As I say that, Slaughtneil are now coming out for the second half, so I don't expect to see any changes for the second half. And here they come out, and they'll be pretty happy, as Paul had mentioned in the first half. Just a point down. This last two finals, they've kind of been already defeated at this stage of the game. So just a point between the sides. And Paul, I have been corrected at half time. The goalkeeper for Slaughtneil is Jack Cassidy, which possibly will tell you it's a tactical change, with Jack more an outfield player, and that's why he's been involved so much in the outfield.
And I should have recognised him, because his mother Regina works for my wife, so I should have recognised Jack. And listen, I couldn't recognise him from the distance we are from the pitch here. And looking at the team sheet, that's not surprising then. And having chatted to a few people at half time, I was told the decision was tactical in terms of his ability, kickouts, and also the fact he's more offensive coming forward, and you can see that.
Is it? So again, apologies to Jack and to the Slaughtneil supporters tuned our way. I'm sure you were all shouting at the TVs. That is not Scullion, that is Jack Cassidy. So apologies from myself and Paul, but we weren't told of a change at the start, and we were just going by our match list. So the second half, both teams have come back out for the second half. No changes to either side from what I could see. So Gavin Hegarty about to get the second half underway, and there's a scramble for possession already, and Conor Glass gets a strong fist there, and Callum Mulholland's onto that one. Racing through the centre now is Callum Mulholland, but he looks around him. There's only maroon jerseys, but he gets it out here to Danny Talon, cuts in between two of them. This would be a super point from Danny. Is it coming in? It looks to be good. No, it's dropping short, and it bounces out and wide of the target. A wide for Glen. Only the third wide of the game, but a blistering start from Glen. Danny fancied his chances there, and it just didn't come in for him, as Jack Cassidy plays it short out here to Keelan Feeney. And Feeney under pressure there from Danny Talon, but the whole possession. It was almost the perfect start for Glen, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, Cahill found himself in a very offensive position, but he only had Danny to his left. It was that surprising to the rest of the Glenmen. They didn't have time to get up there, so an effort from Danny, perhaps a wee bit more patience waiting for the runner, but I mean, we've seen him score those before.
Yeah, and possibly he had more time than he felt. Here's Jack Cassidy coming forward now. Brenton Rodgers is running on to this one. Chance maybe Rodgers will fancy it to level it up here. Gets it into the corner. Keelan Feeney back out again. Back into the centre now, and the ball's knocked down. But it's down to Shane McGuigan, who is quickly crowded out, and Glen have got back in position, and Slaughtneil have to come again. Paddy Cassidy coming up there against Emmett Bradley, goes past Bradley, and Paddy out now, and here's an opportunity for Shane McGuigan. A little bit of space, holds off the challenge, but the challenge comes in, and it's enough to put him off, and it's a scramble for possession, and Glen have turned it over as they try to work their way out. The referee says that's a free, and there's going to be a free out to the Watty Grahams, who lead by the narrowest of margins. The ball back now to Conor and Bradley. Will we see much of a difference in the second half, is the question, Paul?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think, well, already slightly when the first two attacks is a wee bit more open. And look, we talked about it both teams are going to have to go for it here. And I think Slaughtneil, the longer this game goes on, they are going to have to come out of that defensive shape a little bit. And whether they can make that count at the other end or not, or Glen take advantage of that in the counter, remains to be seen.
Kieran McFall in possession. Picked up a yellow card in the first half. The linesman spotting a high challenge on Shane McGuigan after Glen had been awarded a free. Shane was running on with the ball and Kieran just caught him high, going by the linesman. And here is Michael Warnock now coming forward for the Watty Grahams, and just puts on the brakes and gives it now to Emmett Bradley. And the terrace packed over on the far side. Look on to see what the second half holds under the lights of Owenbeg. The place on offer, a huge one. Place in the Derry O'Neill Senior Football Championship final against Maherfelt, and I'm sure Damien Barton and the Maherfelt men are probably among this large crowd here watching on. And like ourselves, unsure how it's going to go as the ball's in here now to Jack Doherty. Tried to offload it quickly there to Ewan Mulholland, but he's crowded out. But here's a chance now for Conor Glass. Sidesteps the challenge. Conor gets a snapshot away. Good score. Conor Glass.
Yeah, good score. Conor thought the first tackle came in. I thought perhaps he had overcarried it slightly, but he got that shot away really quickly. Very accurate, and you can see with Glen here, they're a little bit more fired up than perhaps they were in the first half. So Malachy will have calmed them down. And
There are no changes to either side at half-time. Neil Apple are beaten.
4 points to 2 in favour of Glen. Jack Cassidy with a kick out. Long fist there from Ryan Dugan as Conor Convery is crowded out. The referee says overcarried. And Conor Convery down at the moment as the physio Orla Gallagher runs in to make sure he's okay. And the referee just saying, calm down boys. It's a free to Slaughtneil. And mentioning of Orla, we wish her the very best of luck next Saturday. A huge day for Orla. She's getting married, and we wish herself and Tiernan the very best of luck next Saturday for their big day. I suppose Orla, she's been that busy with Glen over the last number of years, and the last number of weeks she's had little time to prepare and think of the wedding, Paul.
well, knowing females as we do, Alan, they're better multitaskers. So I'm sure Tiernan's had a bit of a break. She'll be taking care of that.
She will, and she's took care of Conor Convery because he's okay to continue. As here comes Jack Cassidy again. Glen leading by 2 as Slaughtneil aim to reduce that with this attack, or possibly even get better. But here's Paddy Cassidy. As we mentioned, a goal in this game would be huge. It would be a massive score, but at the moment we haven't really had one sniff. Just the high delivery from Kieran McFall that was palmed towards the goal by Danny McDermott that come off the woodwork. But that's really the closest and the only sniff of goal either side have had. Jack Cassidy in possession yet again. Obviously something Slaughtneil have been working on and converting Cassidy into a goalkeeper, and he comes forward here and going outside is Shane McGuigan. Somebody took their eyes off him there, but Michael Warnock quickly comes over as Jerome McGuigan runs into trouble and he's given possession away. And Jack Cassidy's out of goal, but there's no Glen man up front as Cathal Mulholland comes forward, pulled back there by Shane McGuigan, but he gets the ball away here, but it's a wasteful ball. But the referee's come back for the free.
He'll be back for the free, yeah.
And it could be a booking, would it? No, because it's kind of a professional foul, breaking up the attack.
Slight pull. I think Shane was quite cute in how he did it. He just did enough to put him off, and probably not enough to get him into the book. So
one of those professional fouls when the team's breaking quickly. But Glen, it wasn't the best of balls from Cathal, but he was under severe pressure in. And Brendan Rodgers had cut it out, but the referee was already given the advantage, so it went back for the free. As here comes Conor Convery now, and Kieran McFall comes on to that one. McFall going across the field. He's been pushed across, and there's nobody making the run at the moment. And coming in from the far wing was Conor Carville. He'll give it back to his goalkeeper, Conlon Bradley. And Bradley, with possession, gives it to Michael Warnock, who's been so involved so far in the game so far, as he comes driving forward again as Ethan Doherty comes in from the sideline, which we see so much for Glen and for Derry. Gives it back to Michael Warnock again, back out to Kieran McFall. McFall looks across the field and gives it to Ewan Mulholland, apologies. Ewan with the ball through the centre. That's a super ball into Conor Glass. Conor Glass quickly turns. Wonderful ball, wonderful point.
an unbelievable ball by Unimal Holland with his left foot, his weaker foot. You know, I saw him look up. You could see I thought he had picked out Danny McDermott, who had made a run prior to that, but it was picked up by one of the Slaughtneil defenders. An unbelievable ball through the eye of a needle, and again that's Conor Glass's second point from play in the second half.
We'll hardly see a better pass in championship football throughout the country this year as that one from Ewan Mulholland. As here comes Slaughtneil looking to recover. They're now 3 points adrift. As they come forward, go down again. If Glen turned it over, no, they haven't on this occasion. There's a scramble for possession, and in for the loose ball is Glen, and they seem to be up for this one. Now they're breaking now with Conor Glass over on the far side. And coming forward now is Danny McDermott. A bit of space for McDermott. Racing after him now is Peter McCullough. McDermott still going. Wonderful ball over here. Chance to seal up. He's drove it wide of the target. Wonderful chance of a goal from Cathal Mulholland, who scored a goal in last year's county final. And you don't get a better chance on that, Paul McFlynn.
No, and I think just with Cathal, he didn't realise the time he had. He had much more time. There was no one with him, but a super ball from
Danny McDermott.
And look, prior to that, the ball was a challenge by Conor Glass to get the ball back, and one again by Ewan Mulholland, who's really started this second half on fire. So the game has opened up a bit, Alan. It's suiting Glen. There's 2 or 3 times in the counter-attack now. The crowd have been getting excited because Slaughtneil are just pushing up that wee bit more in attack, and when it's breaking down, Glen are brilliant at that counter-attack at speed.
And what a chance for Cathal Mulholland. That would really have given Glen the ascendancy. 3 points between the sides. A goal, I mentioned, would be a huge score, and that is the best chance of the game so far. But Cathal Mulholland drove his effort wide as Jack Cassidy gets ready to kick this one out. A let off for Slaughtneil. Can they take advantage of it? Ball out round the centre. Scramble for possession. Paddy Cassidy gets a fist to it, but waiting for the loose ball is Kieran McFall. And Glen beginning to pick up the breaking ball, Paul.
Yeah, they're just starting to dominate a little bit around the middle here. I don't know what they have done tactical wise, but they certainly have closed those kicks.
Michael Warnock comes forward again. Ethan Doherty tries to sidestep the challenge, scoop the ball out. Referee says it was illegally so, was Ethan Doherty, and the referee was calling over Chrissy McKeag.
A little bit of afters
and
there.
It's a yellow card for Chrissy.
A little bit of afters by Chrissy on Ethan.
Silly.
Yeah, probably, no need for it. I mean, he did a good job in terms of the tackle, and the ball went back. I think he just pushed him down a little bit into the ground.
So Chrissy will have to watch himself now because Ethan Doherty will be running at him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a bit like Kieran McFall. He'll have to watch himself too for the yellow card.
He's not the type of person you want to be running at you, is Ethan. But look, I mean, Chrissy's very experienced campaigner, and thus far he's been doing a good job. And Ethan, everywhere you've seen Ethan, Chrissy's been beside him. But he'll have to watch himself.
So Danny Talent, we're right behind this one as he comes forward. Plenty of distance in it, but it's dropping short, and there's a scramble as the ball's in the back of the net. It's a goal. A goal for Glen. Not sure who it is. It could well be Cathal Mulholland that missed that opportunity. He was in there. I think it is Cathal Mulholland. He's made up for it.
He's certainly putting his finger up, and in terms of, he will see that as perhaps redemption in terms of the chance that he missed. I couldn't see.
I think it was Cathal.
Yeah, I couldn't see.
Definitely in there.
It was certainly a goal-mouth scramble.
So Glen take control, 1-5 to 2 points. They've made up for their missed opportunity. Well, Cathal Mulholland definitely has. There was a dangerous ball in, wasn't dealt with by Jack Cassidy, and that's 2 high balls in. He dealt with one well, or 3 high balls. He dealt with one well. The other one he didn't get, and come back off the post, and that one there has ended up in the back of the net. So now Slaughtneil are going to have to try and find something, but the hand is in there from Glen, but Cormac O'Doherty goes after this one. Is there a response in Slaughtneil? They trail by 6 at the moment. We're 41 minutes into the game, so we're inside the last 20 minutes, and Slaughtneil still awaiting their first score of this second half, and they're going to make a change as well by the looks of it. The linesman is getting ready as they play the ball away back out here now to Cormac O'Doherty, and Jack Cassidy makes himself available on the far side, and Cassidy has space, over on the far side, and Cassidy's going to have a go from here. He watches this one sail to the wrong side of the post and wide, and here comes the change. Coming off is Micheál McGrath, and going in is Eamon Cassidy, and Slaughtneil need to find something at the moment, Paul McFlynn.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not how they anticipated this half starting, but certainly Glen have been in the ascendancy at the start of this second half. They've had chances to open up Slaughtneil, and probably that goal, didn't come from an open up. It was a high ball and probably was fortuitous the way it broke. But they're chasing the game now, and they're certainly going to have to go forward more now, and that's probably going to open up even more so for Glen.
There's a scramble here. Brendan Rodgers is fouled by Emmett Bradley. Got himself in front of Emmett and wins the free. As Paddy Cassidy is trying to get a move on, but maybe too quick there. Oh, almost in there, but Rory O'Maynine did very well to win it, because Jack Doherty was in trying to get away, but here come Slaughtneil trying to respond from that goal for Callum Mulholland. The ball across now here to Brendan Rodgers. Paddy Cassidy makes the run. Cassidy takes it, going through the centre, puts in the heavy shoulder in there, but it's going forward. But Glen have got the bodies back, and Slaughtneil struggling to get a shot away. Out now to Sammy. Sammy does get the shot away, but he's curled it to the wrong side. But the ball's still in. Conor Bradley comes off his line, gets a strong fist to it, and is picked up there by Danny Talon with number 14 on his back, right back in the cornerback position. He wins the free out, but Slaughtneil, they're put under severe pressure. There's nothing simple in there. Glen getting the bodies around them in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, even in that play there where Brendan Rodgers offloaded the ball to Paddy through the middle at pace, but Glen were so disciplined in the tackle. They weren't giving away a cheap foul. Ball turned over, and it looked Danny Talon, 14 in his back, look where he's picking the ball up at. So it's a sign of the work rate. Sorry.
Numbers mean nothing now, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Conor Bradley running on to this one is Kieran McFall. McFall goes on to it as Glen look to put this game to the bed. The reigning champions coming forward yet again. Kieran McFall with this run. Good run in there. No, he almost went himself. Did he fist it to himself? No, he didn't, says the referee. As the ball's back now to Conor Glass. Glass going across the field. Had 2 points in the second half. Has Conor Glass, and he's going right across the field, but he'll just slow it down again, and Glen will try to rebuild as the play is across here to Conor Carville, now to McFall. McFall inside the 45 metre line as he plays the ball over Conor Glass, who had to duck, otherwise he might be trying to put it up into the sky to get it over Conor Glass. Here's Michael Warnock. Slaughtneil under pressure at the moment, trailing by 6 points, and need to find something as they try to turn this ball over, and they have done with a substitute. And now Slaughtneil could break quickly. Shane McGuigan, a misplaced pass. Here's Rory O'Maynine coming forward now for Slaughtneil. Rory under pressure there from Danny Talon, gets the ball away as Glen try to retreat out to Shane McGuigan from an acute angle. Good score from Shane McGuigan.
Yeah, Glen will be disappointed with that one. No, they had possession, just a wee bit of pressure from Slaughtneil. They pushed up, two of them put Conor under a bit of pressure, and the ball was coughed up. Bit of a break and a great score by Shane.
First score of the second half for Slaughtneil, coming 15 minutes into the second half. So we're into the final quarter. 1-5 to 3 points. 8 plays 3. 5 points between the sides. As Tiernan Flanagan gets ready to come in for Glen down below us. This little slip of paper is handed to Sean Curran as Conor Bradley hits a ball over to the far side. Can it be kept in play? Yes, it can. By Michael Warnock, under pressure there from Cormac O'Doherty, but Warnock turns away from him, plays the ball up along the wing, but the hand comes in there from Conor McAllister to deflect it out over the sideline ball to Glen as Tiernan Flanagan gets ready to come in, and the player coming off is Conor Convery. So Tiernan Flanagan in for Conor Convery. So now we've got 14 on the Glen side that played in last year's All-Ireland club final now on the park.
And Conor put in a good shift. Very good on breaking ball. It was unfortunate, I think, with that one that he won there. It was blown up over Cairn. He put in a real good shift there, so they're bringing on fresh legs, and Tiernan will certainly add to that.
No doubt about it. The pace of him as the ball's dropped in here, but that was a waste of opportunity and a waste of possession from Glen. So it's out and wide. 14 minutes remain in this O'Neill Senior Football Championship semi-final, live from Owenbeg here on Derry GAA TV, and we are Derry. As Jack Cassidy with a kick out goes to the far side, the fists go up, the ball's broken down, and Glen through Cathal Mulholland, who's been excellent. Although he did miss the goal chance, but otherwise he's been very good at driving forward. And here's another man driving forward is Kieran McFall. Gets it on to the right foot, but that's not going to come in for Kieran. And that one's out and drifts out and wide. And Glen have a chance to put the game away, but they've missed a couple of opportunities now, Paul.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic there, more so in terms of how Glen play. Malachy and Ryan and his backroom team are not happy with that one. They had numbers there, a wee bit more patience.
As Chrissy McCaig wins that one. Looked. Carl was there to help him out, and Shane McGuigan now has possession. The Slaughtneil look to put back-to-back scores behind them. Time running out, 12 and a half minutes remaining in the trail by 5, but they'll not panic as Jack Cassidy comes forward here to try and build the attack. Rory O'Meanine comes in from the far wing. His sister Clina won a camogie title earlier this afternoon, the 9th in a row for Slaughtneil. As Rory in possession yet again. Sammy Bradley, Christopher comes to meet him. Jack Cassidy makes the run. And Slaughtneil get ready to make another change. Jack Cassidy getting it on to the left foot. This time Cassidy with the effort, but it's not to the between the posts, and it's out and wide, and in comes Owen Mulholland. Is in for Cormac O'Doherty. So another change on the Slaughtneil side from their team manager Mark Dorn. And Paul, just over 11 minutes remaining, 5 points between the sides in a game where there's been so little between them is a big score to try and claw back.
Yeah, big score, but look, I think they're going to turn this over.
They are, and it was well in there from Keenan Feeney, and Shane McGuigan has fouled. It's going to be a free in. And it's a scoreable position for the likes of Shane McGuigan here, who's possibly saying to the referee, surely that deserves a card.
And a tactical foul too by Spike Warnock, or Michael Warnock, sorry. Giving him his nickname there, but I mean the danger was there when Shane had it. He knew what he was doing in terms of slowing up.
Possible yellow card as well for a challenge like that, like I talked about earlier, where Shane pulled back Cal Mulholland when Glen were breaking too. So similar one there, but the referee saying no yellow card on that occasion either. As Shane comes in with the left foot, so it'll suit him, but not on this occasion because he has got that totally wrong. Drifts out and way wide of the target. The umpire's not even going to wave it wide because he says what's the point, because it's well wide.
Yeah, it's not like Shane, like I mean he's one of the most accurate men in Ireland. He'll be disappointed with that, particularly when I brought it back to 4. So 5 points with 11 minutes left. Slaughtneil are going to need a goal, I think, to get themselves back into this game.
Ryan Dugan spreads it away over here now to Kieran McFall, just inviting pressure on them. He's going to be put under pressure there. That's a dangerous one across to the goalkeeper, especially in front of the legs of Shane McGuigan, and Shane catches the goalkeeper high. And I think this is going to be a yellow card for Shane McGuigan for that high challenge. But it's a dangerous game, Glen, we're playing there. It's a dangerous one, playing a ball across your own goals with Alexis Shane McGuigan sniffing around.
Very dangerous, but also a sign of confidence. I mean, Ryan Dugan's outside of the boot ball to Kieran McFall first. Kieran McFall took it back to the keeper. You know, it's worked out well for them in that regard. And
it's inviting trouble.
And I don't think Shane's challenge was in any way malicious at all. He's not that type of player.
Just high.
Just his hand was up, and so it was accidental.
But it's still a yellow card for the high challenge. Bit like what Kieran McFall picked up the yellow card for in the first half as well. Just a little bit high.
And you know, two players there that the camera's on. I mean, two exceptional footballers, Brendan Rodgers and, you know, Emmett Bradley, and they've probably cancelled each other out of this game, such as the magnitude and the calibre of both of them.
Slips through the feet there, and Glen, or Slaughtneil are in for it, but Glen turned it over yet again. And the man you mentioned there is Emmett Bradley, comes out of it. The referee playing the advantage, gives it back there to Ryan Dugan, who spreads it out to the side here. Just thinking, you mentioned there Emmett and Brendan cancelling each other out. A bit like last night, Conor McCluskey and Conor Doherty cancelled each other out as well. And it was probably a bigger blow for Newbridge cancelling out Conor Doherty.
Yeah, well, I think Conor McCluskey, as we know, can snuff out anybody in Ireland. So if he's on you, you're in trouble, you know. But just interesting that Emmett turned it, but the tackle, Glen had lost the ball there, but it was Michael Warnock turned that ball over with a strong tackle, and then it picked up the break. And I think Michael Warnock has been outstanding for Glen here.
We're inside the last 10 minutes here as Kieran McFall makes the run, but Conor Bradley uses the space that Kieran McFall created for him, and it might go back now to Kieran. No, Jack Doherty turns away from the challenge. Not interested in going forward at the moment, Glen, and they could be in trouble here. Gives it into Conor Glass. Wasn't the best of balls, but it worked out for Glen as Jack Doherty runs onto that loose ball with Cahill or Danny McDermott's now on that. Jack Doherty was caught late. Emmett with the left foot, but it's well blocked down there by Brendan Rodgers, who tries to come forward. Brendan Rodgers gets the jersey tugged there, and they're pulled to the ground now. And the referee gives a free. Well, he wasn't pulled to the ground, but he was pulled back. And the referee may have to take action here. And I think this will be a hot ball.
That's
right in front of the referee as Conor Glass was hauled, but the referee, is he going to hop the ball? No, he's not.
Not so sure.
Doesn't look like he is.
But I think
change.
The frustration from Glen comes before that, when Jack Doherty was fouled and the hand went up for an advantage and the ball got turned over. I mean, you'd rather have the free.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see that happening on both sides tonight, where Slaughtneil had advantages, balls turned over, they would rather had the free. So I think that's something in the game. I don't know the 5-second rule, but I mean, both teams tonight would rather have had the free on occasions. You know?
So Shane McGuigan is in for Jerome McGuigan. I'm surprised he didn't throw the ball up there though.
Yeah, well, I think Brenton was barging his way out and Conor got in his way, and again, I don't think it was in any way malicious.
But Jack Cassidy, the referee plays the advantage. He's not given the free here because Paddy Cassidy coming around the back outside. And a chance here maybe for Paul McNeil. Back again to Shane McGuigan on to the left from McGuigan. Has that gone over? Yes, it has. 4-point game. Shane McGuigan with the score. And 2 in a row now for Slaughtneil. It remains 1-5 to 4 points, 4 between them. A look at the watch tells me we're 6.5 minutes remaining. This game's still far from over, Paul.
Far from over, surely. I mean, the 4 points, you know, Slaughtneil have got the bit between their teeth again.
They're having the balls out there, and Mulholland got a hand to it, but it's given away and was picked up there by Conor McGuigan. Plays it into space, and Glen now coming up the far side. Long ball forward now, looking for Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty is onto it. Jack is having a go, but he's not happy with that one, and that's 3 wides from the last attacks for Glen have yielded nothing, while Slaughtneil have hit 2 in a row at the other end. And Glen just missing opportunities at the moment. Good ball out there from Jack Cassidy to Paul McNeil, and he rushed it a little bit to Jack Doherty, but here comes Slaughtneil with Keelan Feeney. Feeney puts on the brakes under pressure from Ryan Dugan, but gets it away back to the goalkeeper Jack Cassidy, as Glen were pleading that he took too long, but not on this occasion. Just over 5 minutes remaining. 4 points between these two big hitters. Glen with the ascendancy at the moment, but here come Slaughtneil, who have hit the last 2 points. Sammy Bradley in possession at the moment. Plays it back again to the goalkeeper Jack Cassidy. Cassidy spreads it over to the far side. In possession now is Paddy Cassidy, way over in the far wing. It's the wing half forward Peter McCullough to Rory O'Maynine. Back to Cassidy again, looking to put one score between the sides. Gives it in to Brendan Rodgers. Snapshot from Brendan. Is that it? Down to 3 points. Yes, it is. A super point from Brendan Rodgers. 3 in a row for Slaughtneil.
Look, Alan, when you look, the 3 scores have come from the bit of Shane McGuigan 2 and Brendan Rodgers 1. They're not the players that we know they are. The way they've been playing for Derry, they're leaders for this team, and they'll see themselves with a sniff now. There's a poor kick out.
Most definitely it's down to a 1-score game, and there's a scramble for possession, but Glen have got away with it and have won themselves a free out.
And there's another fella who's been outstanding
Danny
tonight.
McDermott.
There's Danny McDermott, for a 17-year-old lad who missed out in minor this year by 3 weeks, I think. So he has been phenomenal tonight. A lad at 17 in such a physical encounter, and he's been up for it. 2
players down at the moment. Danny McDermott, and I'm not sure who's the other one on the far side. Orla's gone to the other person, but Danny McDermott also feeling the effects of that challenge.
And I think Glen will look at the chances like Kieran McFall, the one you talked about earlier, and Jack's. They're snapping at chances there since they went 1-5 ahead, and a wee bit more composure at that side of the pitch. And Slaughtneil have benefited from that. Glen have allowed Slaughtneil to creep back into this game, and it's a 1-score game now. Yeah,
1 score, just the goal between them. Cahill Mulholland, we do believe, got the final touch when the ball from the free from Danny Talent dropped short, and it looked like Cahill Mulholland was the man that got the final touch to get it across the line into the back of the net, and that's the score that separates the sides at the moment. Both Glen players, I was going to say both of them back on their feet, but Danny McDermott still receiving treatment for a facial injury.
And this will add to the injury, and I think there's been a few stoppages anyway.
Yeah,
So
3 minutes of normal, you'd be expecting 4 or 5 possibly.
I expect 4 or 5, yeah.
As the ball is across here to Ryan Dugan. Dugan and Kieran McFall goes for the return. The referee whistle sounds.
It's off the ball. Brendan
Off the
Rodgers
ball.
been penalised for holding Emmett
gonna-
Bradley.
A free to Glen. Good job you're watching the off the ball stuff, Paul, because
Well, it just
there's
happened
so much going on.
I saw it in the corner of my eye and I kept an eye on it.
So the free for Glen just inside the 65-metre line. Going to be taken by Kieran McFall. And he looks around both ways. He looked like he was going to play it back to his own goal. So 4 Slaughtneil players raced forward. And he might be blue here for
Jesus.
overcarrying. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Or too long for taking the free.
yeah.
So the referee is going to throw this one up.
I mean, in those situations there, you can see the crowd. And Slaughtneil did really, really well there to push up and close the kick and close the kick. And the more you become under pressure,
And Slaughtneil have won the loose ball, but the referee
just called it back.
is going to throw it up again, is he? Yep. I'm not sure why. But Gavin Hegarty is the only man can tell you that when he throws it up yet again. Ball broken down. 2 Slaughtneil men go for it. There's a scramble for possession. The ball's loose. He's try to pick it up. I'm not sure who has it. It's a Slaughtneil player on the far side. They have got it back now, and they've got it into space. And here comes Slaughtneil looking to get right back into this game. They've hit the last 3 points. And here comes Rory O'Maynine. Now to Sammy Bradley. He's got Shane McGuigan, who's got on to possession. Sammy goes around the outside. Paul just didn't go to hand though. We're looking at the watch. We're inside the last minute and a half of normal time, so all eyes will be on the 4th official to see what additional we're going to have. Ball over to the far side. Paddy Cassidy in a little bit of space here. Is Paddy going to have a go? He's going to take a solo forward. He's still coming forward. Front of the post to put 2 between them. Yes! From Paddy Cassidy. 4 in a row for Slaughtneil. It's a 2-point game as the 4th official goes for the board.
And again, it was a case for Glen had possession, you know, and looking for the kick and come from the hot ball. So, and again, another leader in the Slaughtneil ranks and
3
Paddy
minutes.
Cassidy.
Three additional minutes, Paul. It's time for you to think of your We Are Derry player of the match. The ball out round the centre, strong fist forward, and it's Slaughtneil that win the loose ball yet again. As they come forward, they've got their tails up. They believe they're still enough a chance of making the final. As they come forward here now with Jack Cassidy, 2 points between the sides. And he's going to launch this one into the corner to Shane McGuigan. Just let it bounce, otherwise he could have called the mark. Tries it on to the right foot, an acute angle and too acute for Shane. And it's out and wide of the target. We're about to go into the 3 additional minutes. Slaughtneil with their tails up at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, for the first half of that second half, Glen were very much in the ascendancy, but the last 15 minutes have belonged to Slaughtneil, particularly in those breaks around the middle. They have a bit of belief, and I mean they're making life difficult here for the kicker, or for the keeper to get it out.
So Conor
There's a
Bradley
lot
with
of
his kick
holding.
out. And the referee having a little word here with Kieran McFall and also with the number 21 that picks up a yellow card, Shane McGuigan. So a yellow card for Shane McGuigan. And will the referee take the free out to there now?
I think so.
Yep, and it was off the ball. As Kieran McFall just limps badly. And he spreads it away over to Ryan Dugan. So 3 minutes of additional time. We've almost 1 minute of that gone. Glen leading by 2 points as Ryan Dugan in possession. And he's looking for options. And they're under pressure on the far side. Conor Glass is crowded out by 2-3 players. He goes to try and wins a free. I suppose you want somebody under pressure.
Yeah.
Conor Glass is the man.
He
Paul.
took the words out of my mouth. No better man for being composed and onto those pressure moments. Very rarely gives the ball away strong in possession, so you're not going to dispossess him.
As they work their way out of defence again with Michael Warnock to Tiernan Flanagan. Back to Kieran McFall. McFall in possession, but Slaughtneil will push up on them. Glen at the moment struggling to get the ball out. And they fist it back now to Conor Bradley. He's got Michael Warnock on this side. He plays it across to Michael, but Slaughtneil pushing up to try and turn the ball over. Ball back again to Conor Bradley, but there's two Slaughtneil men coming in on him. Plays it across the goal. It's a dangerous game, but they're holding possession. Kieran McFall making himself available as Cal Mulholland. Has Glen come out? Almost 2 of the 3 additional minutes already played. Glen holding possession. Slaughtneil cannot get their hands on the ball at the moment. Kieran McFall in possession for Glen. Rory O'Maynine along with him. Super ball from Kieran McFall finds Ryan Dugan. The ball, the referee plays the advantage. Surely Glen will be happy with the free. Yes, they are. And this will run down more time.
Run down the time, I think. You know, Glen have managed that well. It was nervy there in terms of the way they're playing about. And look, Slaughtneil were putting the squeeze on there. They couldn't have done any more. But such is the calibre of Glen and those pressure moments. They were able to retain the ball and make very good use of Conor Bradley and Nets, who's a real master at holding possession and keeping things calm. So they'll play this out. Whether they go dead or whether they will be an hour kick out, I suspect, after this, because there's been a little bit of stoppage within this 3 minutes, so I think there'll be an hour kick out after this.
So Conor Glass with his free. Plays a good ball in there in front of Danny McDermott. Coming around the outside is Conor McGuckin. In now to Conor Glass again. Coming around the outside. It slips away. It comes out now to Tiernan Flanagan. To Conor Carville. Back to Tiernan Flanagan again. And the referee says that's it. The reigning champions are back in the county final. They've held out to 1-5 to 6 points. They hadn't scored since the all-important goal from Cathal Mulholland, but they've done it. And Paul McFlynn, who is your We Are Derry player of the match?
Oh, listen, Alan, it's been such an intriguing encounter, and the way things have been going, I haven't been thinking much about it. But look, I think on the Slaughtneil side, you know, you'd have to say that when their big men stood up, particularly in Shane McGuigan there, Brendan Rogers, Padraig Cassidy, Chrissy McCaig, you know, all those big players that they had certainly had good games. And I think even though he missed a couple of shots there, he was getting in those positions. Actually, it was Jack Cassidy, I thought, had a really good game and nets and brought a different dynamic to the Slaughtneil team. Glen, I mean, Conor Glass was exceptional there in the second half, as was Kieran McFall, big players. But I think on the balance of play today, for his defensive duties and remaining calm, man of the match goes to Michael Warnock.
I don't think many will disagree with you on that one. Spike had an outstanding game. So Glen, march on. It was an intriguing encounter, Paul.
Oh, I mean, listen, it's probably didn't expect it to. I did expect it to be a lot tighter than last year. I mean, and you could see the way Slaughtneil set out their stall. They'll be bitterly disappointed because the chances were there. They certainly had chances, and you look at a couple of free kicks missed bits and pieces, and you know, perhaps towards the end there, they were so much focused in those last kickouts and pushing up, and it cost them in terms of off the ball fouls and things like that. But Glen, credit to Glen, they're champions. They managed out, they saw out that last 2 or 3 minutes, which was a very nervy experience for them. But look, listen, it's championship semi-final. I don't think, in terms of the intensity, the effort, the endeavour, I mean, you couldn't ask for any more from both teams. That had everything in that regard. Maybe for the viewers, maybe not the free-flowing football that they're after, but in terms of championship intensity, I mean, you're not going to get any better than that.
We said the goal would be vitally important. It turned out that way, and it wasn't the prettiest, but they all count.
Yeah, and I think it's quite similar to the goal that maybe Cathal got last year in the county final as well. Came off a high ball and it was soccer styled in. You know, it's just one of those ones, a Hail Mary in, and it breaks. And I mean, they get the rub of the green on that occasion. And it was a big score in the context of the game. But interestingly, from being 1-5 to 2 or 3
points.
2 up,
Yeah.
you know, it finished 1-5 to 6. So, you know, that'll be an aspect that Malachy and his management team will certainly not be happy with going into a county final. They'll know that they need an improvement, and it's certainly setting up a mouthwatering clash, a repeat of the 2019 final, one in which Mackerfelt won, and they'll feel they lost the 2021 to Slaughtneil, and they'll feel that they deserve to be back there. So it'll be an interesting final.
Thank you very much, Paul. That was the voice of Paul McFlynn. So we'll go down and get some reaction from the winning camp as Glen, to their adorable fans, make their way off the field. So it's Glen against Magherafelt in 2 weeks' time. Final score: Glen 1-5, Slaughtneil 6 points.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all.
You're welcome back. I'm down on the pitch now and delighted to be joined by Glen's Michael Warnock. Michael, picked by Paul McFlynn, you're our player of the match. That was an intriguing battle.
It was a body on the line type stuff from the first throw in, but look, we didn't expect anything less, Slaughtneil was very proud club in the last 2 years for them, probably would have we've been in the same boat on their end as well, so the last thing you want to do is come out and let the game over the time again. So we knew we were going to be in a battle, we knew they were going to play well. We knew the match there.
First half, nothing between you, 3 points to 2 scores, few and far between. Lots of niggly little stuff on and off the ball. And then what was said at half time, what Malachy said to you is because there seemed to be more intensity, the ball was moving a bit quicker in the second half. Was there more space?
Much more space, probably. Turnovers now. You were then bringing the keeper out. That's a gamble on their end. It obviously gives them a good advantage up in their forward line to get an additional +1 up there. But if we could get them turned over, we knew that we could get in behind them. We did. We didn't capitalise on one occasion, but luckily we got a bit of luck there and got a goal. Unfortunately, enough. But it gives a bit of a cushion.
It's not the prettiest of goals, but they all count. And I did say to Paul during commentary that a goal in this game, the way it was going, was going to be so huge.
Even points were huge, 3-2 at half time. Probably the traditionalist wouldn't be saying it's a game that they would want to go watch, but both teams just want it so much, and care about it so much that, they're just going to do everything in their power to stop. And they did that and we did that as well. And even a point in the first half felt like an absolute massive score, nearly felt like a 2-pointer. And we knew whoever got a goal, it was going to put them in a good place to going forward.
You've never looked like conceding a goal yourselves, rock solid defensively.
Look, I suppose we've prided ourselves in not conceding goals this past number of years in the thick end of the championship, Alan, but look, we would be disappointed with the last 10-15 minutes of how we closed out the game, to be honest. We let Slaughtneil sort of dictate. We didn't go forward with the ball. Took maybe a couple of shots or a couple of options that probably weren't right options, and we should have been in the position to be able to close the game out a lot easier than what we did. So that's something we need to focus on for 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time, back in the county final. A repeat of the 2019 final, of course, bad memories there, but you've had your glory days this last 2 years. You're going for 3 in a row. I'm sure 3 in a row has not been mentioned to you or mentioned in the camp, so it's all about getting to the final. You've done that, and you're there, and now you have a chance to retain the title again.
Look, the glory days are gone and over, they'll count for nothing in 2 weeks' time, and I know Marafelt had a very impressive performance here last night against Newbridge. They'll be looking for the same now in 2 weeks' time, but I repeated the final, and we'll just get our head down now over the next 2 weeks, look at what we can improve on and see what we can bring in 2 weeks' time again.
Well, you're there. I can't let you go because there's a bigger day coming up before that for the household. Another county final. Leanne, of course, your wife this year, that you got married this year, is in the county final with Glen as well. So a couple of big weeks for Glen coming up. And for the Warnocks.
Couple of couple of quiet nights around the house at home now, in fairness. I was in age all week this week and she'll be in age all week next week. But look, it's great times in Glen, brilliant. Hopefully they can go on and win it next weekend. But my focus will firmly be in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Michael, for joining me, and congratulations and the very best of luck in 2 weeks' time in the county final against Magherafelt. So that's it from the semi-finals of the Football Championship. We now know our finalists in the junior, the intermediate and the senior. The intermediate or the junior will be contested between Ballymcguigan and Moneymore here next Saturday afternoon. Then it's 2 weeks' time. The intermediate and senior final will be taking centre stage. We saw Greenlaw beaten this afternoon, but yesterday afternoon we saw Glenullen reach the final and a chance to retain their title, and they will take on Banagher, who we saw earlier this afternoon dispose of Greenlaw in their semi-final. And then Magherafelt winning yesterday's semi-final in the O'Neill Senior Football Championship, where they are going to take on the reigning champions Glen, who we have just seen see off Slaughtneil in the semi-final. An intriguing battle it was in front of a packed house here, and hopefully wherever you joined us throughout the world, you enjoyed it as much as we do, and thank you very much for joining us. Once again, thank you to the Just Content team, all at Derry GAA TV, and We Are Derry, and of course to my two men that helped me out this evening, Hugh McGrath for the first game, and Paul McFlynn that was alongside me for the second. But for myself, Alan Gunn, and all here in Owenbeg, it's good night.